Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we're talking about the benefits or the reasons why you would set up an LLC company to house your real estate investments. Yo, what's up? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today we're talking about my advice on the #1 way for you to get started investing in real estate. Okay, so first of all, I have to give a shout out and thank all of you guys for watching my videos. I try to drop knowledge on real estate. I try to do some fun videos with the cars. My name is Will Motivation, and this is my channel. So one of the things I wanted to do in today's video is answer a question. So shout out to this subscriber. I have the question right here. And he asked me, first of all, his name is Jamal Minor. So shout out to you, Jamal. And what he asked me is basically, why do some people set up their real estate investments in limited liability companies? And what's the difference between setting up one limited liability company and having all of your real estate properties under that one LLC versus having a separate LLC for each different property? So first of all, what I thought I would do is explain to you guys what an LLC is and why people set LLCs up. And then if you understand why people set up limited liability companies, you'll understand the difference between having one company with multiple properties under that company and having a separate LLC for each different property. First of all, what is an LLC company and why do people set them up? An LLC is a limited liability company. You can set up when you structure a company and you file paperwork, which is really cheap. I actually have a video where I gave an example of how to set up a company under an LLC. I'll put a card and a link to that video in the description if you want to learn how to set up an LLC. But basically it's a structure for setting up an official business in whatever state where you want to do business or where you want to set up that business. And basically it gives you limited liability personally for your business activities. So for example, let's say you run some type of business and then somebody sues you for the business that you were doing, right, wrong, or indifferent. You have to defend your business and yourself. What a limited liability company does in that setup, when you make your company a LLC, is basically the people that are suing you can only go after the assets of that company, and it limits the liability to the company rather than a person suing you and going after not only what the company owns, but also going after what you personally own. So there's a separation between the company's assets and your personal assets, and the activities of the company are only liable, the company is only liable for those activities and the assets that the company has, right? So it's limited to the company. Whereas if you are a sole proprietor and you're doing business personally as yourself and somebody sues you because you did something wrong or they got a beef with you for whatever reason, they can come after all your personal assets for compensation in a lawsuit. So that's why people set up limited liability companies, so that the activities of that company and the liability is limited only to that company and not to them personally or the other owners of that company, all right? So that's why people set them up. Now, if you think about it, the reason why people set up separate LLCs for different properties, because they want that one limited liability company to only have one asset, which will be that one property. So if something happens in that one property and a tenant wants to sue you or a contractor wants to sue you, and that one property, because of something that happened with the business you were doing with that one property, they can only go after you for that one asset and that one property that company owns. And that will be it. And that's the reason why a lot of people set up separate limited liability companies, one for each different property, because they may be they're trying to limit their exposure in a lawsuit or limit their liability by having a separate company that owns each different property. That's why some people recommend doing that. That's why some people do that. But most people that I know of, they set up one LLC and then they put all of the properties under it. Me personally, and I know that's when you asked that question, you were kind of asking how I do things. I have several different LLCs, and then I also have some property that's personally in my name. And usually the property that's in my personal name, I did it that way because I wanted to get a personal loan or a personal mortgage to get a different kind of term than when I get a business mortgage. And so I can explain that. If you guys want to know about that, feel free to ask me questions about it. But I have several LLCs, and then I have some properties in my personal name, some properties in different businesses. Like for example, I own an office space, and that office space is an asset to one of the businesses that uses the office space that I own. Whereas I have certain rental properties that I have more than one rental property under one LLC. And the reason why I do that is because there's a trade-off. When you set up multiple LLCs, so one LLC for one property, when you have to go to a bank and create a track record or a history or a credit record, you got to do it with a business name and a business tax ID. And if you only have one property under that business name, then it's going to be harder for you each time to get credit and get mortgages for other properties. So that's the reason why I have made, for the most of my properties, I have under one business LLC, where I'm building a track record with that particular business and with all of the banks that I work with, and they can see my assets. So when I take that business and I say, hey, I want to get another property, they want to see, okay, who's going to be on the loan? Is it going to be me personally, or is it going to be a business? I show them the business, and then they're going to say, what assets does the business have, and what credit history does the business have? And if you only have one property under that LLC, it's going to be harder for you to show, unless you have a long credit history with that one property. But I can use the credit history of all of my properties that are under that LLC. So there's trade-offs with that strategy. But if you're in an area or you're a person that's susceptible to a lot of lawsuits because maybe you got a lot of enemies, then maybe you set up the separate LLCs, and maybe you do your financing in a different kind of way. So that's the answer to your question. Hopefully that sheds some light on limited liability companies and why people use them in real estate. I definitely recommend you consider an LLC when you get into real estate. And I also recommend that you talk to a real estate lawyer or a business lawyer that can help you out and give you actual and factual advice based on what area you are in when you're doing your real estate investment. Like, so for example, I just posted a video about possibly investing in property overseas. Yo, what's up people? It's your boy Will Motivation, and today I am in Medellin, Colombia. And one of the number one things I'm going to do is get a local real estate attorney to represent me in the transaction if I actually do that transaction. So you can check out that video as well. I'll put a card and a link to it in the description. This is Will Motivation. Thanks for checking out my channel. I have some really cool videos coming up. Please keep asking me questions in the comments, and I'll make videos like this answering your questions, because at the same time I'm working on my online real estate course that I've been promising you guys for the longest time. Thanks for being patient. The course will be done before Christmas, and that's a real estate course that's basically going to teach you guys everything that I have learned and everything that I know about investing in real estate. And if some of you guys are seeing this for the first time, I'm a real estate investor. I'm also a business owner and entrepreneur, and I currently maintain a real estate portfolio of roughly 22 investment properties, and I've probably done over 60 real estate transactions. I've done some flips, probably 30 of those transactions were flips. I've got a lot of experience in real estate over the last 6 or 7 years. And I love to share that information. So like I said, ask questions in the comments. This is Will Motivation, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching today's video. There's a lot more to come. Hit that like button for me
and subscribe to my channel. A lot of you guys have been asking me about when is my online course going to be ready. Well, I have good news for you. My online course is completed. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can click on that link and get a 40% discount off the course. That'll be for the first 50 students. So if you're ready to take the online course that I've basically laid out everything that I know about how to invest in real estate, click the link below or just go to www.willmotivation.com/invest. And thank you guys for taking the time out to watch today's video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.